So, had a situation happen with Mobile, doesn't align with the school, our program, values and principles of either. Hate that it happened. It happened. Suspensions were handed out, carried out, and it's onward, forward, learn from it, move on, and continue to try to win games and represent the school and the league and the NCAA in the right way.
Good afternoon and welcome into the Walker Bullington Show here on the SHC Athletics YouTube channel. Nolan Cotillo joined by head coach of the Badgers, Walker Bullington. Coach, how are we doing today?
Doing good.
Doing good. Getting ready. Getting ready to hop back on the road. You guys are in a bit of a road stretch now. We were here for what felt like a really long time, and we were for quite a while there. So let's just, pick up with our most recent award. We seem to be stringing those together pretty well. This past week, it was Bryce Anderson taking home his second SIAC Player of the Week award. Talk about what that means to him and just, what you're seeing from your guys this season to rack up those awards.
Well, we've talked about it before, it's nice to get that validation, but for guys like him, he did that in 2 games this weekend, so he's played really well. Corey stacked him up, Bryce has stacked him up, Jackson Bell. We've had several guys that have had good years, and it just shows that guys are getting better as the year goes and playing really well. So I think, if anything, it aids in the confidence and allows you to see that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Right. And you guys, keep the good work going, and you go into sweep Morehouse here at home on the weekend. And that's your 7th SIAC Series sweep of the season. Just talk a little bit about what you saw, just from the series as a whole, and what it means to stay atop the conference.
Well, again, Savannah dropped a game. We won all 3, so that gives us a 5-game lead with 6 to go. So it gives you a little bit of cushion there. It wasn't pretty at times. We had to create at times, but I thought we did a good job on the bases. Pretty solid defensively. Had some mistakes here or there, but really good performances on the mound and did what we had to do to go get 3 wins. So, again, we're not in the business of what it looks like or, we want to win high-scoring games, low-scoring games, full strength in terms of personnel, mix and matching guys doesn't matter. We went out and won 3 games. They're really well coached. I've got a lot of respect for Coach Grissom. Obviously, everybody in their family is a former big leaguer, and then all their nephews are big leaguers. So, baseball family does a good job with his guys. They bunted. They try to run, bunt, and create chaos themselves. So, did a pretty good job with PFPs, bunt coverages. Limiting them with their opportunities to score and, did what we had to do. It was a weirder vibe this weekend. It was kind of quiet games and a little bit different style than you normally see in the SAC. But, we were able to get it done and get 3 and continue to stretch the lead. So we got 6 to go in a 5-game lead and got to go out and take care of business.
Yeah, you guys seemed really versatile this weekend and being able to adjust to a really unique play style compared to what we've seen most of the season. Obviously, very bunt heavy. And stuff like that, how do you prepare to be so versatile?
Well, scouting report, we told them they're going to bunt. They're going to bunt when it doesn't make sense. They bunted 3 times in the first. They'll bunt with 2 strikes. They'll bunt with 2 outs. And so us telling them in the scouting report and us knowing that it's coming versus it actually happening, because in that moment, defensively, there's still times where you're like, there's no way he bunts right here. And he does bunt, up, down, doesn't matter. So thought we did a good job being prepared for it. We work on our bunt coverages, BFPs, all those things every day. I thought we had some good pick plays off of it. We were able to get some lead outs. We were able to take an out when it got handed to us. And for us, the main goal is just to get an out. If we can get the lead out, we will. But stay calm. If they want to give us a free out, take it. So, just trying to prepare. And a lot of times in SAC play, it's tough in terms of trying to find videos, scouting reports, whatever we can. We're working on Benedict right now and got to scratch stuff together to have an idea, and we tell our guys, take a piece. Don't change your entire approach, but take a piece off of that scouting report. Where can we kind of expose them in this area? What are they good at? What do they struggle with? And that's what game planning is. You may be right, you may be wrong, but you're trying to find pieces that allow you to have a little bit of a competitive edge in certain areas of the game.
Yeah, and then moving forward, you guys have to turn around and play again this tough series. Season series finale against West Florida. It's a tough one, a close one. 5-4, the Argos are able to sneak away with that one. Just talk about a little bit about what you saw from a really hard fought matchup.
Well, we beat them here 7-3. We beat them there 7-3, and then we lose 5-4 there on the road. Thought it was a pretty good, clean baseball game. People's had a good start for them. the stuff is not overpowering, but the changeup he was landing a little bit more. Curveball wasn't as much of a factor, but the fastball, it was one of those days where we barreled like 14, 15 baseballs. A couple swings come to mind. First pitch of the game, Nick Hunter hits one to the wall, comes up with bases loaded, hits the hardest ball he's hit all year, finds the third baseman's glove. Ivy Gallo, Parker Seria. We had a lot of balls that were barreled up yesterday. AJ Swader goes deep to center to kind of get us going. We get a couple knocks, and he has a 2 RBI single. We kind of claw back into the game. We catch a stray. Kid that's hitting 214 with 1 homer runs into a solo to extend their lead. They go to their guy, Willis, out of the bullpen, who's a velo guy. We're able to scratch one across. BA with a really good at bat, and then just weren't able to get it done 5-4. And to be honest with you, there's a play at the plate early in the game where they score a run to get their second run. We thought he was out. And then ground ball for an out. He scores. That's their third run. And, that's baseball. So, all of our guys afterwards, we talked about it. Be proud of 15 in a row. It's really, really impressive. And that's why going 15 in a row is really hard, because every now and then you get baseballed. And I thought that's what happened last night. I thought we had higher quality at bats. We had more hard contact. We were good on the base paths. We swung it really well. We pitched it really well. And I would say 1 call and 1 ball that fell in versus 5 to 7 balls that didn't fall in for us makes us lose a 1-run game. But, they're good. They're a good ball club. We're a good ball club. We talked about it at the end. It almost felt like we ran out of innings last night. It took us a little bit to get going, and then, just got to move onward forward. But we take the series from them 2 out of 3, which is big for us. And, it's good for the region rankings, things like that. And, so just kind of whitewash it and move forward as we go into this weekend. Huge SAC series, only 2 left to go with Benedict, and not trying to look too far ahead, but Albany in that shortened week. So we'll go double Friday, single Saturday, on the road Tuesday at West Al, and then at home Thursday, Friday, as opposed to Friday, Saturday, Sunday for that Albany series, with the JV game on Monday mixed in there. So we've got 7 games in 7 days between both programs. So short week, and then after that it's conference tournament time. So you got to have a short memory this time of year. It's 15 in a row. Maybe that knocks us back even a little bit. And then go out this weekend and try to go win every game in front of us.
Yep. And I heard you mention the region rankings in there. Obviously, we move up to 4 in the region. And breaking news, the Badgers are ranked in the top 25, receiving the 25th spot in the latest national poll from the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association. It's a big deal as it's the first one for us in the Division II era at the very least. What is that? I understand, we've had a few conversations about rankings and things like that. But what is it? What do you think it means for the guys? I mean, to finally.
I think it shows that we have made some noise, especially in the non-con. We've took care of business in the conference. Now we're 31-10 after the loss last night. I'm sure we'll drop out to receiving votes or whatever it may be, but who cares? It is nice to be in the top 25 and these guys to feel like they're getting a little bit of recognition nationally and getting a little bit of recognition regionally. But at the same time, you've got to go out and prove it, day in and day out. And so it's nice to get the first one. We've had a lot of firsts here in the last 2-3 years with preseason rankings and, being in the top 25 there, the first in-season ranking this year, getting up there in the region rankings for the first time in that top 5 or 6, winning the first regional game in school history our first year. All that's over with now, though, right? So we've got 7 games to go, 3 with Benedict. It's a good ball club. They're 5th in the league. They've got 55 homers, 108 bags, right? Albany State's Albany State. We have a rivalry with them. It's always good baseball games. Kiefer's good on the mound. Reyes is good on the mound. They're going to be coached well, play hard. And then West Al, who beat us here. Another one of those that felt like we kind of ran out of innings. It was 11-9, something like that. And that's on the road. So you got 4 straight on the road against 2 good ball clubs, and then 3 at home with a good ball club in a shortened week. And that Thursday-Friday series is always weird. Who do you show? Who do you not show? How do we set it up? Because you're getting ready to go into conference tournament. So for us, we'll see what the rankings are after the conference tournament, but we need to do everything we can to win out, and we need to go try to win a conference tournament. And good, bad, ugly, reset after each game, and go win the next one.
There you go. So we'll talk a little bit more about what we got coming up, talk a little bit more focusing on the Benedict and West Alabama games. Obviously, we don't like to look too far ahead here. But we'll talk about all of that when we come back. You're watching the Walker Bullington Show here on the SHC Athletics YouTube channel.
This is the way down a path that leads to a place upon the hill, led by thought leaders, activists, and Jesuit princes. Among the hill is where tradition and a strong desire to do and achieve reside. Ingrained in rich tradition, filled with purpose, fueled by passion. Spring Hill College is for those who seek more.
And welcome back to the Walker Bullington Show here on the SHC Athletics YouTube channel. Nolan Catilla, joined by head coach of the Badgers, Walker Bullington. And we're talking about looking ahead to this weekend series. First, we'll talk about that at Benedict on the road in Columbia, South Carolina. You'll play a doubleheader on Friday starting at 1 p.m. Eastern, followed by Game 3 on Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Coach, it's getting into crunch time. Finishing out the season strong is probably the goal here. 6 conference games left, and half of them are here. So what's the thought process surrounding that?
Control what you can control. Our focus is us. It's not the national rankings. It's not the region rankings. It's not the opponent. It's do what we can do. Focus on our game plan, our at-bats, our outings on the bump. And, you want to be playing your best ball going into the postseason. And it's a pretty good time for us to rattle off 15 in a row. Dropped a 1-run game last night on the road to a quality opponent. So what is what it is. Let's see what kind of bounce back we have, right? Because going into this weekend, it's going to be a good test for us in terms of, are you going to let outside circumstances affect you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to leave at noon tomorrow. We're going to get there at 10 Eastern, go to sleep, get up. We're going to go to a ball field with weird dimensions, weird base paths, the bullpen's in a hill on the side.
Interesting.
There's single batting cage, no batting practice, no IO, right? Turf has been ripped up. It's now apparently field grass. It's going to be weird dimensions, a weird ballpark. They have a home field advantage there. They like to run, create chaos on the base paths. Like I said, 55 homers, 108 bags. Duran, their starter. Game 1's going to be 89-92 with a slider, and it's pretty good. Kenyon Connor gave us a little bit of trouble last year. They got a couple guys that can spin it, but they're going to run. They're going to ambush fastballs, and it's going to be a weird yard, and it's a show-and-go setting. It's a 9-hour trip. It's a double on day 1 instead of day 2. A lot of things that we can complain about preemptively. So we talked about it last night after the West Florida game. Doesn't matter where we're playing, who we're playing, what time, what the trip is, if the base paths are 86 feet or 90 feet, I don't care, right? We got to go out and control the tempo, kind of take the reins of the game in inning 1 and do not let up, right? All 3 games. So They've had a good year. They had 14 homers in a weekend against Albany. They can swing it, but we feel like we have a good game plan. We feel like we're a good ball club, and we're going to focus on nothing apart from what our job is. And this will be the weekend where we do our job better than we have all year. That's our goal.
Love to hear it, Coach, and hopefully keep that momentum going into next week's midweek game, non-conference on the road in Livingston against the West Alabama Tigers. Thoughts on that?
We owe them one. They swung it pretty well. It was a weird game. Like I said, 11-9, but we punched them out 13 times. I don't know who we'll see on the mound for them. We have an idea, but we have split with them every year we've been here, and we need to take that game, no question about it. They've struggled a little bit here as of late, but they're really, really talented. It's kind of volatile ball club in terms of offensively. When they're hot, it's as good as it gets, right? They've got some juice, but for us, it's same thing. Go out, pitch it. Field it, run the bags, and swing it. But we want to go take that one. It's another opportunity for a non-con win that helps us out, postseason-wise, region rankings nationally. But it's no more important than the 3 this weekend. We've got a conference lead that we're trying to protect, a regular season title that we're trying to win, and a 1 seed that we're trying to get to prepare ourselves to be in a good spot in the tournament. And on top of that, we're trying to go take one from West Al, so that we've taken one from everybody in the midweek, which is something that, we talked about that validation in the rankings. That's where that stuff comes from. So it's they kind of know who we are. We know who they are. And it's going to be, whoever shows up with energy and focus is probably going to win the baseball game. So another long road trip, especially for a midweek game. Show up, get ready to play ball, and try to go take that one and get back here for senior day and last three at home here at Stan Gal. So
yeah, and like you said, coming back here for senior day, we won't look ahead too far and talk too much about the Albany State game, but I will go ahead and let the folks at home know. Right now, we've got it on the schedule. Thursday, April 24th is Game 1 of the Albany State Series, which is the final regular season series and games of the season. That'll be at 5 p.m. here on the Hill, and then Games 2 and 3 will be Friday, April 25th, starting at 12 p.m. Coach, we have a time yet for Senior Day festivities in case anybody wants to come out and support the seniors?
Whatever time you say, it'll be before the first game.
Before the first game.
It'll be before the first game on the doubleheader.
Oh,
So I'm assuming
okay.
11:30.
Yep.
Type
So
of thing.
yep. So Friday, Senior Day festivities followed by games 2 and 3. What will be the end of a really exciting season for you guys. Another season hitting 30 plus wins. What does that mean?
I mean, it's big, and I'm sure we'll talk about this more next week, but our seniors deserve it, right? There's guys that have been here with me, since my first year here that have won 30 and 30 and have a chance to win 40, right, this year, and just keep building this thing. And we don't want to be done there. We've got a conference tournament championship that we want to win. We want to go make some noise in a regional. We want to go try to get to a super regional, and the ultimate goal is to get to carry. So you got to have short-sighted goals, long-term vision, and just an everyday focus. And that's kind of what it is at this point in the year. Keep those goals in mind short-term, have a long-term focus, and then every single day you got to grind it out. So that's something that our guys have done a good job of. I thought we've gotten better throughout the year where we figured out who we are, as a ball club and our style of play. And you've had some secondary guys be able to get in there and get some action. And, late in the year, you look up and you're relying on those guys more so than you ever thought you would, right? So I feel like we're in a good place. We just got to continue to go out and win games. And this weekend's big for us. Let's turn this thing around and start another win streak.
Coach, we're excited to see the hard work that the guys put in every day continue. I know the fans love to see it. We all love to see it here in the department and on campus. So we appreciate everything that you do for those guys and everything that they're able to do to represent Spring Hill. And we appreciate you at home for watching another episode of the Walker Bullington Show here on the SHC Athletics YouTube channel. We'll see you in a week.